2 years since I got the Royal Oak chronograph, and it's still the most iconic and certainly the most expensive piece in my collection. And I've never really spoken about this watch really at length. I did an unboxing, but I want to talk about what it's been like having this watch in my collection for the past 2 years and why I think it's the best one to get. While I'm at it, I'm going to go look for frittelle. This is Fat Tuesday today. It's the final day of Carnevale here in Venice, and they're making these beautiful sweets. I've managed to avoid them for the past 2 weeks, thank God. Back into my workout routine, so I didn't want to mess anything up, but I'll make an exception today because this is the final day they're making the frittelle, and there'll be lines down the street for people trying to get all the best ones in the most authentic places. So I'm going to go hop around some places. Last time I made a mistake and got to Tonnolo too late and they were sold out. There was a line outside the place, and by the time I got in they had none left. So I still haven't tried the one at Tonnolo. So I'm actually going to head straight to Tonnolo now, grabbing the number one bus. That's what I call the bus. It's actually a boat, but I call it a bus. To Santa Marta, straight down there, a couple of stops down there, and go straight to Tonnolo, see if I can get my hands on one of these famous frittelle. Cool costume store here. This place cleans up right now this time of year because there's so many rented costumes, you know, for this period of the year. So here you have the costumes all being delivered now. People are leaving the city and they're bringing back their costumes after having rented them. So these places probably don't rent anything all year, and this time of year, these 2 weeks probably constitutes 90% of their business. So before I talk about this, I want to talk about a little microbrand. You know, every now and then I like to promote smaller brands, more affordable watches, new up-and-coming brands. Why not? Add a little variety. It can't all be about Rolex and AP, right? I came across this one from Sweden, Sonner. Very elegant, kind of Cartier tank style watches, and very, very nice. Now, extremely affordable. Some of them are mechanical. They have quartz and mechanical watches. They sent me 3. 2 of them were too small for me, so I sent them to my daughter who's in Milan and had her take some photos. She sent me back some absolutely stunning photos of the other 2 watches on smaller wrists, friends of hers that are models and film students like herself, and they work much better on their, you know, smaller, younger wrists. But I'm keeping the other one. It's much larger and it's very, very elegant. I think it's a great option if you don't want to drop 10k plus on a Cartier tank. And you need something dressy, you need something for some sort of dressy event. You can't wear your divers or any aggressive looking watches, and you need something fast and affordable. They come in at around 250, 300 bucks, so it's extremely affordable stuff and very, very well made. Very stylish, simple, clean watch designs, and again, kind of modeled on the Cartier look. So check them out, Sonner watches. I'll leave all the links in the description below. They have some beautiful, again, affordable dress watches. So I'm on my way over to Tonnolo to see if I can finally taste some of these frittelle. Last year I made the mistake of getting here too late in the day, and they were sold out. There was a line down the street. I'm hoping there isn't one again today. Down here is my daughter's university. She went to university there at Varshavski. I actually spent no time over in this area at all. I should start to rediscover this area. It's really beautiful. Oh, there's a lot of people. Is this the line? As I thought. Sì, grazie.
Posso avere un sacchettino veneziana e due alla crema?
Una veneziana e una alla crema. Due creme.
Grazie.
Prego, a chi tocca. Dimmi.
Due chantilly, devo mangiare
Poi quanti? 6,40.
Well, apart from the lo stress of that entire place, I have to say, not my thing, not my taste. Style is very different, very greasy, as they say here, onto, really greasy and sticky. They remind me of like classic old jam donuts from back home. You know, the ones with sugar all over them, sticky. You get sticky sugar everywhere. I don't know why they're so famous, why there's such a long line. I've had better, but maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, you know? Might be that. They're too sticky. I feel like I'm gonna get a zit on my ass and on my nose right now, you know? All right. Let's keep going on the hunt.
My first probably high-end watch purchase was my stainless steel Royal Oak chronograph there. Beautiful watch. The fact that I was even able to get it, I mean, it's timeless. That's never going to change. The first luxury sports watch in the Royal Oak, ultra thin, which I'm a big fan of thin watches. And I was like, well, I was the first doctor to sort of do social media in the way that I'm doing it.
So let's talk about this watch. I picked it up in London 2 years ago. It's the 2633 ST. This model has been updated since then. They brought out the 50th anniversary one with the 5-0 on the rotor, which was not my thing at all. But they changed some significant things from this model. One, they made all the subdials the same size. One thing I love about this is the seconds hand is smaller than the other two subdials. I like that. I don't know why. There's just something about that it's a bit more arty. Secondly, they're no longer making a version with contrasting subdials. So all the subdials on the new Chronos are the same color. They don't have a panda or reverse panda. I love the contrasting subdials on this. One of the most important things about the dial, I think. And thirdly, and most importantly, they thicken the watch. The first time I put this watch on, I fell in love immediately. For so many reasons, it's such a stunner. But the slenderness of the watch, it's so slim, 11 millimeters. That's a good 1.5, 2 millimeters slimmer than most other Steel Sports watches on the market. And the way it slides under the cuff it's just super elegant. The new one, the latest version, is thicker. It's 12.4, 12.6. They thicken the watch. Don't do that. That's going in the wrong direction. If anything, they should even slim it more. Why not? But I guess it's something to do with the movement they have in those or whatever. I just think they went in reverse. Why thicken the watch? You take away a lot of its elegance. And that's one reason I think that this particular model is the best one out there. I would never trade this one for the newer one, even though the newer one has an exhibition back and so on. The slenderness of this watch is everything that I love in beautiful, elegant timepieces. When I was first getting into watches, I wasn't into the Royal Oak. I didn't like AP. I didn't like their shape. Didn't like the aesthetic. It didn't appeal to me at all, and I couldn't understand why people were spending so much money on these things. It looked very industrial and aggressive to my eye. But the thing about getting into watches, or probably any hobby, is your taste gets cultivated. It gets trained. Your eye gets trained. And you begin to learn more details about what's beautiful and about what's not. And you realize that it's not just to each their own. You actually keep learning more and more things and going up the ladder. Now I can't even think about, like, these watches are so stunning to me. I can remember not liking them, but now they just look so insanely gorgeous to me. Especially, like, even the offshore. I didn't like the offshore at all. I thought it was clunky and aggressive and industrial looking. It wasn't my thing. Now I've got two offshores. So it's like, slowly you learn how to appreciate these beautiful things. And now there's no looking back. Then again, I didn't like Rolex back in the day either. And I've definitely come around on that. So now I'm grabbing the Vaporetto, the bus, there she is. The opposite direction, going back towards San Marco, because I gotta go try out a couple of places over there. And hopefully they won't be as busy, and hopefully not as unto, as greasy. Ugh. Actually, from here we're going to get a good look at my daughter's university, her ex-university. She's in a different one now in Milan studying film, but she studied the fine arts right here, and this is her university from the front, where you see. But there's one thing you realize when you move over to over to AP is that you're entering a different world of watches completely. You know, I was getting used to Omegas and their durability, and Rolex as well, and Seiko. You know, these are not just beautiful timepieces, but they're built to last and they're built to resist all sorts of stuff. AP is not like that. AP is art. You know, you're buying a piece of art, you're wearing a piece of art. I mean, from what I can see, they keep accurate time and they're beautifully made and somewhat resistant. It's not like they're about to fall apart. But between the price and the kind of delicacy of the pieces, I definitely feel like there's jewelry on my wrist. You know, it feels like jewelry. And I know, like, the diver I have, the offshore diver, is a tough watch and it can resist all sorts of beatings. But I'm never gonna test that. It's a $30,000 watch, and I'm not gonna put it through anything like that. I never put this on unless I'm, you know, wearing something nice, going somewhere nice. This is a sports watch, but I ain't doing any sports with it. So the second place I'm going to try now is Cafe Marchini. It's a classic old cafe. You may have seen it before on the channel, maybe not. I stop in there quite often actually, because it's kind of on the way to other places I go to regularly. And I want to try out their frittelle. I've never actually had them there. It's a classic old pasticceria. You'll see, it's just really traditional, classic old place, like Tonnolo. A bit more bright coloured kind of place. And there's Marchini.
Ciao, grazie, siete bellissime.
Okay, that was a lot better. I actually finished that one. Softer, not as sticky, kind of melt in your mouth kind of thing. But I know that it's a 7 out of 10 because I've had them in other places before. The best ones I've ever had were in Rosa Salva, which is where I'm heading right now. By the way, this shirt here is Boggi. These are guys that wear a lot of their stuff. Boggi Milano. You've seen a lot of their shirts and pants and so on the channel. Excellent stuff. Coats, of course, by Canali, as always. Now, this watch has, honestly, since I got it, been through somewhat of a roller coaster ride. As we know, 2 years ago, there was a spike, a big spike in the market, and watches went crazy, especially hype pieces. AP, for some reason, caught the crest of that wave. More than anyone, I think AP just went completely berserk. And this watch went from 50,000 on the market, 55 in dollars or whatever, to over 100 in the space of like 3 months. It was wild. I had offers for it for 85, 90. And now that the spike is done, it's all back down to normal. It's back to where it was. Haven't lost any money on it. But if I were to sell it today, I wouldn't make any either. So this is Rosa Salva. For me, these are the best.
Porta via o qua esse?
Perfetto.
So beautiful.
10 euro. Quanto ti do quell'anzachetto? A chi tocca?
4 alla crema.
Porta via un
Sì,
qua.
portare via, grazie.
Anche loro sono
Okay, I have a little quiet spot here. Check them out. The moment of truth, Rosa Salva. So much better. Oh my god, they're fucking unbelievable. It's like this tiny crunchiness on the outside and then just super dreamy, creamy. That's 12 trillion calories right there. My god. Crack cocaine. I'm so lucky it's only once a year that they make these fucking things. Jesus. That's crazy. I'm sorry, but it's gotta be Rosa Salva.
You know, it's quite a jump going into Holy Trinity stuff. Vacheron, Patek, oh my piguet. But it's inevitable that you're going to get there if you are a big watch aficionado. You're on your way there, you know. So I got to that crossroads there, and it was like, what suits me best, you know? What do I like the most? And Patek are beautiful. You can't argue with Patek. It's some of the most beautiful watches in the world, but for a big fella like me, they're a little too dainty, unfortunately. And I had to make that call. Which way am I going from this crossroads here? And AP were just more substantial watches. They were bigger, more powerful statement pieces. Just suited me more. Also, there's an attitude that AP has. They have a lot of balls, you know. Patek, apart from the Nautilus and the Aquanaut, they're kind of a little bit stuffy, you know, old world watch, you know, which is beautiful. I mean, it's elegant. But you know what? AP are much more me. They're kind of the pop art of the three. They're experimental and a little crazy and unpredictable. You know, they're the wild child of the Holy Trinity. They've got balls, they've got attitude, and they're the troublesome one of the three. And that reminds me of me. They're a little unpredictable and a little reckless sometimes. And that's part of their charm.